Good afternoon. This is Betty Shan, and I hope everybody's feeling good today and had a wonderful day. And I hope that we can say something that'll bring a smile to your face. And I was just going to talk a few minutes, and it'd been a while since I'd been on, and I thought, well, I'll let everybody know that I made a trip to Albuquerque again. One of my daughters had a doctor's appointment, so I rode up there with Laverne, and we enjoyed our trip to Albuquerque. We have more fun when we go off, but it's like a country hick goes to town with me because I don't get out in these big cities too much, and Carlsbad's just a little place, and our biggest store is Walmart, so, we don't have much going on here, but we get in them larger towns and cities and everything. And I know one time we was driving through Albuquerque, and my daughter said, "Oh, Laverne, you're fixing to, this car's coming up over here." She said, "Mother, just close your eyes and lean back." I said, "There ain't no way I can close my eyes and lean back with you driving. There ain't no way. I've got to help you." But she gets kind of frustrated with me because I yelp and holler when we're doing things, but it's not that I'm used to going up and down them speedways to go shopping and what have you. And I get to wondering sometimes if it's even worth risking your life to go shopping there. But she just laughs at me, and of course she goes all over the country. She has to make trips with her job and everything, and she's used to this big city driving, but it scares me to death. Being out on an old country road nearly scares me to death, and a rabbit runs in front of me. But anyway, we went to Albuquerque and done a lot of shopping. I know I was going to get on an escalator one time, and she grabbed for me, and there's one of the women in the store that's working there. She said, "Oh, she made it." And my daughter said, "Well, I was beginning to wonder if she's going to make it or not." So I didn't just scare myself, I scare everybody around me. But we had a very interesting trip. I told her, I said, I could believe I could shop all day long as I've got a buggy or something to push and hold on to. I said, but when they take them buggies away from me, I said, I'll walk a little while and I'm ready to go to the car. I'm tired. And but anyway, we had a fine time there. And then one evening she decided that we were supposed to go and stay about 3 days. So I packed me a suitcase for everything I needed for them 3 days. And we went shopping the one day, and then next day she said something about I said, well, she said, "What would you like to do?" I said, "Well, I've done all I can do. I've spent all my money. I ain't got nothing else I want to do." I said, "Well, do what you want to do. It's your trip." And so she said, "I want to go to Santa Fe and eat at Maria's New Mexico Kitchen." So we went there to eat, and I looked at the menu. I went over and over and over it, looking for something good to eat, and decided, well, I'd just get me a combo, and that way I could taste of everything. And I mean, it had everything on it. It had rice and beans and an enchilada and a taco and a tamale and a green chili and a enchiladas, and I looked at that plate and I said, "My Lord, Laverne, I couldn't eat this in a week, much less one serving at one night." And before they got through, they even brought me out a sopapilla to eat. And I looked at her, I said, "Well, I'm going to give you the taco off my plate, and I'm going to give you this and that." She said, "Now, just a minute, Mama, I've ordered a plate too." But she ordered her some barbecued ribs. That was, of course, it's barbecued with more like a red chili sauce instead of a barbecue like it out of a bottle. And she loves those. That's why she wanted to go, because that's what she wanted to eat. But we ate and we ate, and when I got through, I said, "Here's this sopapilla." I said, "There ain't no way I'm taking a bite of that sopapilla." But we walked off and left more than we eat. But we enjoyed the trip, had a good time. But I want to ask y'all something. Have you ever went shopping and wished that you could apologize to the people for going in the store? Have you ever had that experience? Well, I've had them experiences. I remember one time that I went to the grocery store shopping, and I had bought my groceries, and I'd went up one aisle, down the other aisle, And it's not a big store, it's just a small store. And there was a woman putting out eggs. And I walked up to her and I said, excuse me, I said, can you tell me, do y'all have any French fried onions? And I said, them kind that you put on your green bean casseroles. Of course, everybody just about knows what that is. And she said, sure, we've got some. And I said, do you know where they're at? I said, I've looked up and down these rows and I can't find any. And she said, well, and she pointed, she said, it'll be either up that row, or that row. And she never made an effort to help me. So I was supposed to go down this row, up this row, and back down this row, and up this row to find them. And I thought, they want our business, but they're not giving us much service anymore. And I said, well, thank you. And so she went back to putting up her eggs. And I hunted, and I finally found it. Well, I went in one day to another store, and as a matter of fact, it was one of these places where you fix your sub sandwiches, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. We've all eaten sub sandwiches. And I walked up to order my sub sandwich. Now, if the store had been full of people, I would have understood. But this is an old lady. Look at me. I'm an old lady. And I was standing there, and I said, I'd like a sub sandwich. She mumbled something at me. I couldn't understand what she said. I wanted to say, hey, what'd you say, girl? But I didn't. I just stood there, and I said, I want it on wheat bread. She said, okay. And nothing else was said. And she said, what do you want on it? And I said, ma'am. And I told her something, and she said, no, that's not what I said. But anyway, by the time I got through, when I got to the cash register to pay for what I got, I wanted to look at her and tell her, honey, I want to pay you extra just for letting me come in your store because you didn't seem to have time for me. But, that hurt my feelings so bad, the way she acted that day. And one time something was said, and she said, I didn't ask that, I asked something else. And I give her the wrong answer. And I wanted to say, oh, I'm sorry, but I didn't. I stayed y'all, I'm proud of me. I stayed real nice. But when I left, I haven't been back. And it's been about 4 years ago. This happened right after my husband passed away, and it's been pretty soon it'll be 6 years. And I haven't been back to that store to buy a sandwich since. And I know probably that little girl's not there, but it was so rude the way she acted that I felt like I ought to apologize for going in and getting a sandwich. And I don't understand why people can't be kind to people, why we don't have time to smile at somebody and say, have a good day, or sorry, ma'am, I didn't understand, or something like that without being so rude. But I've been in places where I felt like that I needed to turn around and look at them and say, I'm so sorry, folks, that I come into your store to buy anything, because they seemed so rude and they didn't have time for people. And I thought, Lord, help me not to be like that. Help me to have time to speak to somebody and to be friendly and be nice to people. I even like to speak to the little children when their parents are holding them or they're crying or something. I like to look over at them and wave at them or something and get their attention. They usually quit crying. So we need to find a time that we can show a Christ-like spirit and not be rude to people and not make people feel like that we need to pay them for just being nice to us. And it pays us to be nice to people because we don't ever know who's having a bad day. And sometimes I feel like telling some of them that wait on me, I'm so sorry you're having a bad day. And try to encourage them because, my goodness, it don't cost you much to have a smile. And it don't cost you much to say, have a nice day. And keep your chin up. live for the Lord, and keep a Christ-like spirit about you. Have a good day.